we're just wondering if you can take us through your story and where you were and kind of what happened
Okay.
from there.
All right. Well, I ain't no Paul. I'll say
Yeah,
that
you're
first.
not Paul.
Right. Uh, okay. So I was an atheist pretty much all my life up
Okay.
until I was 38, and then I started going to church just because I knew the pastor and I liked the music a little bit.
Okay.
So I started going to church a few times, but I still didn't believe in God, and but my wife was encouraging me to go.
Okay.
And then on December the 19th of 1993, I watched a Christmas show, like a Christmas play, the kind that we put on, that type of
Okay.
thing.
So was the Christmas play in the church?
Yeah, it was in the church, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I watched this play, and afterwards the pastor did a bit of an altar call and asked, did anyone want to accept Jesus into their heart, kind of thing.
Okay.
And I stuck up my hand, and then afterwards, I had a lot of people come up to me and congratulate me on being saved and all that kind of thing. And I thought to myself, well, really, I just asked for more information,
Right.
like I asked for the brochure kind of thing. But I was talking to somebody the other night, and they were saying, but you asked for God's brochure. And that's the difference, right?
Okay.
Because he doesn't give you a glossy. So that day, just as an example, he started dropping all these miracles into my life. But one thing I remember really distinctly is he took anger away from me. Like prior to that, I was like a violent, angry guy. And, the kind of guy that tears cupboards off the walls and, pounds holes in the gyprock and
Wow.
that sort of thing,
Okay.
and lots of things that are worse. And he just took that away from me like that. The day that I got saved,
So that was instant.
that was that day.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I never came back. It was like he said, you can't deal with this, and I'm going to deal with this for you,
Okay.
Now, he left me with a whole bunch of other junk that I'm still dealing with. But I guess, that's his will, right? And so I've been a believer since then, and not a very good one lots of times, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what he's done in my life, and that's it. That's my conversion story.
Wow. No, I mean that's great. It's great to hear, a different side of that, because I know, like me personally, I kind of grew up in that Christian
Right.
bubble, and I mean, there's always this little joke that I was born on a Sunday. I mean, I always I don't remember the time where I never went to church.
Right.
And I never went to Sunday school, or growing up as a teen, hearing all the stories and learning about God. So I mean, I feel that my conversion was the gradual one as you grow up and as you learn more and more about the faith and things like that. But I mean, I remember for me, you hear all these stories of other teens, and as an early teen, you would hear these stories of teens being delivered from drug addiction or alcohol, or they always seem to have this story, this kind of epic story, and I never really had one of those, and I actually kind of felt guilty sometimes that I didn't have a cool story to tell.
Oh yeah.
So when somebody would ask me, tell us your testimony, I didn't really know what to say. I'm like, I went to Sunday school, we sang Father Abraham,
Yeah.
there wasn't really anything other than, when I was 12 years old, I remember I knew what it was to be baptized, and I felt that was the moment where, I'm like, God, I want you,
Right on.
in my heart. So,
Well, I wish I got saved earlier.
Okay.
I wish I'd grown up as a Christian. I would have changed a lot of things about my life. But you come to the Lord when you come to the Lord, and He's changed my life since then. So
Right.
I feel that it happens when it happens for a reason. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's good, because I just, I didn't know what to really tell people. But then I got thinking, as you have youth pastors and pastors who kind of hear this, they tell you, you know what, you have a great story to tell. You have a story of God who has kept you from all these things, and He's protected you from,
Right on.
you know, any of those scars and any of those things that other people might have to go through. So it's a great story that way of God's
It sure is.
protection and
Yeah.
God's sustaining grace that only He can give. But I want to thank you for joining us today, and
Sure.
it's been great talking to you and meeting some of your fans. But
My
thank
only
you.
fan.
Thank you.
That's my
Thank
only
you.
fan.
Thank you for taking the time, and we'll send it back to the pastor now. Thanks.